I'm LeBron my guy, but sometimes he say some stuff. I always sit there and go, who? Don't nobody got his phone? Give me the phone, Bron. Give me your phone, bro. We just lost by 42, and you posting a dunk of you. I thought I was the Wash King. Bro, not tonight, bro. Not tonight. But he did have something to say about Cooper Flagg, and obviously he would know, being a former number one pick, maybe the greatest number one pick of all time. He thought had some words for Cooper and what the expectations will be. Here's what he said.
I personally think that he wants to be great. You know, he had a hell of a year at Duke. A guy that can do so many different things on the floor. Can play with the ball, can play without the ball. You know, his jump shot is going to continue to get better, super athletic, quick second jump. And also, he gets to join a team that's established.
Right.
With Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat. Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. You know, these guys are like, they can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have that type of presence, that type of leadership, you know, just basketball IQ and knowledge around him every single day from those pieces. So I think he's going to be amazing.
As much as I've actually, and Rob G, you can be the proof of this, much as I lately have seemed to disagree with quite a bit about what LeBron has either done or said, this is one time I actually can agree. That's Mind Your Game podcast. He and Steve Nash, of course.
A refreshing look at the NBA and basketball.
You don't want to sit back and have wine and just talk about it?
Well, it's just they're supposed to be breaking down the game, and last week they were talking about ring culture. So
yeah, that was a whole.
Sometimes you become the enemy you want to see.
That was a whole conversation. Me and Rob definitely yelled at each other about that. But
in this one, you changed the rules. All right, Cooper Flagg.
And this one with Cooper Flagg, reason why I actually can hear what he's saying and can agree. What we've seen lately, Martin, is these number one picks come in, and they've been 19. In his case, it'll be 18, kind of like how, not Kobe coming out of high school, but Kobe was 17 when he got drafted. It's just crazy. But these guys are coming in so young. They're coming in 18, 19, 20, and they're expected to be franchise changers at such a young age because, as we all know, most of the time you're getting drafted high, you're going to a bad team. And some of these teams have been perennially bad, just bad constantly. So, hey, come change our franchise, LaMelo Ball. Hey, Paolo Banchero, you're really good. I think we all agree he's really good, but it's going to take time. I got to build up. I got to get people around me, and the expectations are high. And then, to me, you start to flounder. You're just around. You're just a guy. You start getting bad habits. Maybe you're having a bad moment on yourself because, like, man, I thought I was good. Why are we – you hear this a lot of times, guys – all my life I was winning. Won 2, 3 high school championships. When my AAU team won. I went to college and maybe we didn't win it all, but we were in the Sweet 16. And then I get to the NBA, and it's the first time I'm losing. You hear guys say that. That weighs on you. So to me, LeBron has a good point in if you get to a team, Kyrie's going to be the most exciting player, right? Kyrie's, once he gets back and he's healthy and he's running, but Kyrie's going to be the guy. Anthony Davis is the guy. You get to be a part of this. You also have the idea that folks are saying, man, we had Luka. We know you're not Luka. We're excited about what's to come. But I think there's going to be a patience that has been afforded to you because of we know Luka just left. We know the team isn't like it was, now will be with 2 seasons ago. So there will be a patience. And I think that can work well with you. You can be a Kawhi Leonard. No, you come in. He was a higher pick, not number one. Was he 12, 13-ish, something like that? You come into the Spurs, they already got a bunch of guys. You can be Tim Duncan. How the Spurs mess around and get the number one pick when they were a good team back in his day, 98. So you get these high guys, and you get to be in there with other Hall of Famers or solid veterans or really good guys. We can grow. We got a culture. We got a system. And I can then eventually get that mantle. You can pass the baton, and we can go somewhere. And also, again, the fans' expectation were, be our savior. Be Lonzo Ball at the Lakers. Save the Lakers. Magic said you're going to take his stats down, his jersey down. You're going to be the guy. Right. And I think that happens way too often in the NBA with these. It's an impossibility to ask this young man, 19, to change everything. It happens so rarely. So to me, I get what LeBron is saying. You get to come in, a team that has some veterans, a team that a couple of guys who've won rings in Kyrie and AD, slow developing, not expecting you to change everything. And then year 2 or 3, Cooper can bust on the scene, be that guy, and it'll be, like, to me, a perfect rollout, if you will, where now this is your team, you're the guy, here you go, the baton is passed to you. Because too many times you guys have all the expectation in the world on a 19-year-old. Hey, come change this franchise.
And we see guys, there have been a handful of guys that can do it in the last 15 years. I'd say the two number one overall picks that really changed the direction of a franchise would be number one, Anthony Edwards, and two, Paolo Banchero. Mm-hmm. And I'd say outside of that, that's right.
I'm agreeing. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Anthony
like that.
Davis came out, but again, the Pelicans did not truly change their trajectory. Did not become like Banchero has been in the playoffs the last 2 years, even though they have not won a round. Anthony Edwards has been back-to-back conference finals, right? And I know that people say what you will, but hell,
that's
has
real.
Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
Like, such and such got hurt. Who? Asterisk. I don't care. I'm not an English teacher, so I just watch the games and say, hey, you know what? That team's in the Western Conference Finals. They're probably pretty good, and they weren't before he got
exactly.
there.
No, you're right.
And you can see that he's the straw that stirs the drink there. With Cooper Flagg, the thing that I think this is the best case scenario for him, because to your point, and to both of our points, there is a handful. It is rare. It is the idea that you are getting a rookie in general that turns around and changes your franchise is rare. The idea even more that you are getting him with the number one overall pick is that much rarer, right? Like, I bet you the Philadelphia 76ers would have wished that they had taken Jason Tatum instead of Markelle Fultz, right? Like, however you feel about Jason Tatum, you feel better about him than you do Markelle Fultz.
100%.
Right? And so this is all a very inexact science, and I actually I'm happy that he is going to a place where he has a long stretch of veteran runway in Kyrie and Anthony Davis, who are going to be expected, in my opinion, when healthy. I know Kyrie is not going to be back for probably miss most of this season, so this is maybe a year 2 type of thing. But when the team is really good, if Kyrie is still able to do that, he's going to be a guy expected to take a lot of shots, expected to be a primary ball handler. Because I'm not sure if Cooper Flagg's going to would be able to do that at the highest level day one in the league.
Brian Scalabrine, former Celtic, had some thoughts. We were talking about LeBron and Cooper Flagg, what LeBron had to say about being the number one pick. And Brian Scalabrine has some thoughts about Cooper Flagg as well.
LeBron James. He's just not an F1 racer. LeBron is 260, fast, 440, head above the rim. Cooper Flagg's not a bad athlete. He's a good athlete. He's a great athlete. LeBron's a super athlete, but they process the same. I know it's unfair, but I'll eventually be right. People will know. Like 3 years from now, they'll be like, oh, yeah, Scal said it. If he has the same longevity, I'm just giving a comparison of what he could be, but not. You can't look at 50,000 points and championships and any of that stuff. There's some variable to that. But LeBron has scored 50,000 points, doesn't have a go-to shot. I'm not sure he has a go-to shot. He's just a basketball player that makes things happen. LeBron's a freak of nature defensively. He's a freak of nature defensively. LeBron can run point. He can run point. 6'8" point guard. Like, he trends like that more than a shooting guard or a Kawhi Leonard or anything like that. And it's just, he doesn't want to say it, but that's what it's going to be.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you this why I want you to go first, because I want you to play interpreter, because what I'm hearing wasn't making any sense to me. Because if he's comparing him to LeBron's savvy and feel for the game, to me, is, and I'm going to go right back to you, what separates it. There's always been people who can jump. There's people who can jump higher than LeBron, believe it or not.
Right.
There's people who can, jump 6'8". They're bigger, they're stronger. I mean, look at Zion, strong, fast, Charles Barkley. That's not what made LeBron to me. What made LeBron to me is his feel for the game since we were watching him in high school on ESPN. I'm like, I remember the pass they always show from the top of the key when he throws a little no-look pass. That was the play for me, Mark. He's different. It's not his dunk. I've seen people dunk my entire life. It was, he feels the game. He gets the game, and that is what I can't teach people. Larry Bird had the what? Feel for the game, not just a shooter, dimes, knowing when to do stuff, touch. So that to me is when anytime somebody say he's the next LeBron, I go, dude. That's why Luka's the first person I went, because the feel was a little different.
So here's the thing. I hear you on the feel thing in that way, but that to me is what gave LeBron that and his ability to improve his parts of his game every summer. It gave him the and stay healthy, obviously. Gave him the longevity to be able to do what he's doing. Because a lot of guys, to your point, like Gerald Green at his height probably could out-jump LeBron James. And I know that I'll tell you what, if you're 35, that's all you know about Gerald Green. He can jump out the gym.
Blowing out the cupcake on the rim.
But that's about it. Anyway, the thing that I don't understand about Scalabrini's assessment here is that, okay, so he says he processes as fast as LeBron does. All right. I'm not about to sit here and say whatever. But to just wash away LeBron was a great athlete, Cooper is a good athlete, completely ignores what made LeBron day one elite in the NBA. And I think about this more frequently, honestly, with NFL draft prospects, and it's one of the reasons why I thought that Shedeur Sanders had a chance to fall out of the first round prior to the draft. Because now, obviously, we know what happened, but try to remember all back then when all these insiders that we trusted every single breaking word, none of them had him going past day two, right? So that's the operation that was the foundation we were operating off of. And my thought was, well, I look at like Jalen Milroe, for example. I know he's got speed right now that is elite. If it looks like he's throwing the ball with the wrong hand, I put him on the field, he's going to be one of the fastest players on the field, right? So, look at players that have, because I don't expect any prospect to be fully total. No one is the finished product as a prospect. But what do you do right now that you can walk into the league and do at an elite level? Ace Bailey, for all of his warts and all of his trouble, if you look at his highlight tape, he scores from anywhere on 3 dribbles. That is a true bona fide scorer. I don't know if the rest will work out, but he can walk into the league, I think, in day one and score 17 points a game. And I think that's what everybody around him is also saying, and that's why we're in the situation he's in. I don't know what Cooper Flagg's elite skill is besides those kind of nebulous being good at everything, winning, intangible, and that causes me cause for concern, which is part of the reason why I like to talk about it. In the last segment, I love the fact he's going to a place with Kyrie. He's going to even though Kyrie's hurt, but the Kyrie's presence, the Anthony Davis,
Klay
team
Thompson,
that,
just guys who
exact guys who have been there, guys who have done that, because he will be a focus. He'll be the center of the promo, but he won't necessarily be always the center of the game plan, and I think that's going to be major for him in his development.
Right before we get to what's trending with Steve, I'll just say I think his talent that he's elite at, and it's cliche and it's corny and it's coach talk, but I think it's factual because, believe it or not, I think there are people who are extremely talented who don't do this. He plays hard as heck. And when you play that hard and you are that build and that athletic and you're 18, to me, that's scary because everything else is going to come. You know how many guys in the NBA didn't have the best jump shot? Now they splash threes all the time. He knocks down the shot. When I see him play, he wants to put your shot through the backboard. He's trying to block that shot so hard. When I see him on a fast break, I'm like, there's no way he's about to get past. Okay, he did get past everybody. He's not going to jump from there. Oh, my, he jumped from there? He plays so hard to me and wants to win. If I see that with your natural God-given ability and talents that I know are going to get better, because I know so many guys who are just have so much talent, but I don't know they want to be great, and I don't know how hard they're going to work. And to me, when I see that, he has that at an elite level. We saw him when he played against the pros in the summer with the USA team. Everything he's played at, he's played harder than everybody, and he showed up and oh, that's why they've been singing this kid's praises. So to me, that would be, I get your point. He's not the jumper, ain't the wettest. He's athletic, but we've seen that athleticism before. To me, it is that he wants to win and be great, and he plays hard as heck. And that let me go, okay, I see what's coming down the line.